Reacting to Israel's killing of Nasrallah, US President Joe Biden said that a measure of justice for the Hezbollah chief's many victims. He added that Washington fully supported Israel's right to defend itself against Iran-backed groups. In a statement released by the White House, Biden said that Nasrallah and the terror group he led were responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over a 4-decade reign of terror. When asked by a reporter whether an Israeli ground invasion of Lebanon was inevitable, Biden said it was time for a ceasefire.
President, is a ground incursion into Lebanon inevitable?
Time for a ceasefire.
A day after Israel eliminated Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, Iran has called for United Nations Security Council meet over Israel's actions in Lebanon and across West Asia. The country strongly warned against any attack on its diplomatic premises and representative in a letter written by its ambassador to the UN. The letter added that Iran will not hesitate to exercise its rights under international law to take every measure in defense of its national and security interests. Now, this comes as reports say that Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has been moved to a safe location. Amit Mukherjee, our correspondent, is joining us from New Delhi. Amit, help us understand. Iran calling for a United Nations Security Council meet over Israel's actions in Lebanon. What consequences could it have? What can transpire? How significant could this session be?
Well, Preeti, one thing is very, very clear that the Israeli actions are full of surprises, which we witnessed on Friday. It was absolutely unprecedented. At one point in time, Benjamin Netanyahu was making a speech in the UN General Assembly against the ongoing assault on its territory by Hezbollah and Hamas people. And the next moment, it was raining terror in Beirut, at the headquarters of Hezbollah, where, of course, Nasrallah was eliminated. Now, the question is, it has sent messages across this particular action, has been sending messages across to everybody which have been supporting Hezbollah at some point in time. Now, Iran is quite rattled as well, which is why in the letter to the UN General Assembly seeking a meeting at the UN Security Council, it has outlined that Israel must respect the diplomatic missions, diplomatic premises at different locations across the world, and it should also kind of refrain from any action on its territory. Of course, they have been threatening that, of course, there would be retaliation in case Israel launches any assault or any action against Iran. But that is a fact. It has been saying about any action in Lebanon as well. But notwithstanding that, Israel went ahead with its assault plans. And it was the first of its kind. In fact, it was pretty unprecedented. And Nasrallah, who has been the head of the founder of Hezbollah, and he has been the head of the organization ever since the inception of Hezbollah since 1992. It was absolutely shocking for all those Hezbollah as well as all those who have been supporting Hezbollah's action against Israel. Now, again, if you look at it, ever since this Hamas episode where the Hamas squad abducted people from the Israeli territory on October 7th, Hezbollah has constantly been raining every now and then missiles on the northern territory of Israel. But since September 17th, it seems that everything has turned, and Israel went all out first with the pager assault, which was kind of detonated, and that also eliminated quite a number of Hezbollah operatives, and then the constant air raids, and of course the peak of it was the assassination of Nasrallah at the headquarters of Hezbollah on Friday night. Even then, Israel is still continuing because it expects a retaliation from Hezbollah, which is why it continued with its assault on Saturday as well. Preeti?
All right, Amit, even as we speak, we are getting the fresh visuals from Beirut, which we are showing to our viewers also. All right, Amit, also help us understand how significant is Hezbollah a force in the region? Having said that, now that Nasrallah has been eliminated, his subordinates have also been, a number of his subordinates have also eliminated as claimed by Israel. So where does that leave Hezbollah, and also what next for Hezbollah from here on?
Well, Preeti, it's very, very clear right now that the head of the organization has been eliminated, and several commanders of the second rank has also been eliminated. Now, Hezbollah has been talking about the fact that, it is not an organization which is dependent on just one person. In this case, it is definitely referring to Nasrallah, but they never anticipated that the end of Nasrallah would come so quickly. But even then, it has been maintaining the fact that it's not dependent on one particular person. Having said that, there's a difference between rhetorics, there's a difference between statements and reality. As of now, Hezbollah is completely headless. They are looking at successors. Hassim Safedia and Naeem Qasim's name is coming up. But again, at this point in time, more than retaliation, it is the question of survival of Hezbollah right now. They need to organize, because ever since the aggression started on September 17th, where we saw air raids, damaging of telecommunication network of which Hezbollah was dependent, the telecommunication network in Lebanon, things have gone in a complete disarray as far as the Hezbollah structure is concerned. So they are definitely looking at survival at this point in time more than successor, because at this point in time they need to kind of put things together rather than continuing on with the retaliation, because there's an element of surprise in the actions of Israeli forces every now and then, and one never knows what's next. Although people have been talking about ceasefire and all, we saw what came on Friday night. It was a complete it was one of the worst assault that Hezbollah has ever witnessed since its inception, since 1992. Preeti?
All right. Amit, also evaluate for us the tensions in the region from here on. To what extent will this escalate the already tense situation in the region, one? And secondly, how is Israel poised at this point in time? On one hand, it claims to have made significant advances, in Gaza. Also, at the same time, it shook Hezbollah. Put all this together, how is Israel placed, given the fact that US is still supportive of Israel for coming out in its defense?
Absolutely. As far as Israel is concerned, if you look at the statement which was made in the past week, it was very, very clear that the Israeli Defense Forces had put in the fact that the time for half-baked measures are over and they're going to go all out. And it's quite evident in their actions in the over the last 1 week. Apart from raining terror from the skies against Hezbollah, it has also been firming up several actions, in fact, which also they have also mobilized 2 brigades in case ground incursion is required, in case they are going into the Lebanese territory. And this is not the first time. It has, in fact, Lebanon has been under the control of Israel during 2000 also. There was again sort of a conflict during which Israeli forces were very, very active in the Lebanese territory. And this time also, Israel is making it very, very clear that in case his citizens are put under any kind of a stress, of course, there has been a lot of stress in the northern part of Israel, because at least 60,000 people had to be evacuated because of Hezbollah's missile firing in that particular region. So I think Israel at this point of time, of course, it's all speculation, but Israel as of now is ready to face all kinds of eventualities, and it's ready with all its all its alternate plans. And again, there would be an element of surprise. I mean, half of the plans which Israel is executing right now, nobody knows about it. Even as far as the US is concerned, it's at the last moment that those plans are disclosed to the US. It's just to keep the ally in confidence. But even US administration is not aware of all the actions that are happening on ground as it seems now.
All right, Amit, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those details.